Last Thanksgiving, I sat across the dinner table from two guys I've known my whole life, my Uncle Marcus and his college roommate Ray. Same age, both retired. Both spent 35 years working in logistics management, earning almost identical salaries their whole careers. Marcus? He's planning a 2-month trip through Southeast Asia. His house is paid off. He's relaxed. He told me, completely casually, "I don't even check my bank account every day anymore. What's the point?" Ray? Ray had to take a part-time job at Costco 6 months after retiring. Not because he wanted to stay busy, because he had to. He looked me dead in the eyes and said, "I thought I'd done everything right." Same careers, same era, same earning power, completely different outcomes. And here's the thing. When I dug into why their lives looked so different, it had nothing to do with the stock market, nothing to do with luck, and nothing to do with some secret investment strategy. It came down almost entirely to one decade, their 40s. Welcome to Smart Invests, and I spend way too much time thinking about why hardworking people who genuinely try to do the right things financially, still end up stressed in retirement. If you're someone who earns decent money but still feels like you're not getting ahead as fast as you should be, make sure you hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, I want to talk about something that almost nobody explains clearly. Why your 40s are the single most financially decisive decade of your life, and the specific traps that quietly steal your retirement while you think you're just living your life. Let me hit you with a number real quick. $760,000. That's the average difference in retirement wealth between someone who saves consistently through their 40s versus someone who delays serious saving until their 50s, even when the late starter goes aggressive to catch up. This isn't my calculation. Research from Vanguard's retirement modeling consistently shows that contributions made in your 40s can be worth 2 to 3 times more at retirement than the same dollar contributed in your 50s. Why? 3 forces collide in your 40s that literally never align again. Force 1. Peak earning power. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, median earnings for workers peak between ages 45 and 54. You are making more money right now or about to than you likely ever will again in your career. That's your raw material. Force 2. Compounding time. Here's what most people don't realize. A dollar you invest at 42 has roughly 23 years to grow before a traditional retirement at 65. At historical average market returns of around 7% annually, that single dollar becomes about $4.50. Wait until you're 52, that same dollar only becomes about $2. You don't lose a little compounding power by waiting, you lose half of it. Force 3. Expense stabilization. By your 40s, a lot of the financial chaos of your 30s starts cooling off. The starter furniture is bought, the career wardrobe is set, kids are older, the house fits. For the first time, you have genuine breathing room in your budget. The question is, where does that breathing room go? Because here's the trap. Most people feel that breathing room and think, "I've earned this. It's finally time to enjoy life." And that feeling is completely natural and completely understandable. And it's exactly what derails retirement for millions of people. The psychology behind the trap. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but I'm not being irresponsible. I'm not blowing money on parties. I'm just upgrading my life a little. A nicer house, a better car, private school for the kids. These feel like investments in quality of life. And that framing is the trap. There's a well-documented psychological phenomenon called hedonic adaptation, the idea that humans rapidly adjust to improvements in their circumstances. A Princeton study found that beyond a certain income threshold, more money and nicer things produce almost zero increase in day-to-day emotional well-being. Within 18 to 24 months, the bigger house feels normal. The luxury car is just a car. The status boost evaporates. But the financial cost, that sticks around for decades. Look, I'm not here to tell you to live like a monk, but most people making lifestyle upgrades in their 40s have genuinely never done the math on what those upgrades actually cost them in retirement dollars. So let me show you. the actual cost of just living a little better. This is where it gets really interesting. Take housing. Say you're 42 years old and you're considering upgrading from a $380,000 home to a $620,000 home. You figure the difference in mortgage payment is around $1,700 per month. Manageable, right? But what if instead of absorbing that $1,700 into a bigger mortgage, you invested it every single month from age 42 to 65? At a 7% average annual return, that's approximately $1.1 million. You didn't spend $1,700 more per month on housing, you spent $1 million in retirement wealth. Most people never think about it that way. Same math applies to vehicles. The family driving two $50,000 vehicles instead of two $28,000 vehicles isn't just spending more on car payments. They're spending more on insurance, more on maintenance, and they're replacing those cars every few years. The cumulative retirement cost of that vehicle choice over a decade? Research from financial planners suggests it runs between $200,000 and $450,000 depending on replacement frequency. Here's a concrete scenario. Let me give you two people. We'll call them Dominic and Yolanda. Dominic turns 40 with $120,000 saved. He earns $125,000 a year. He upgrades his house, leases a nicer truck, and puts his kids in competitive travel sports and private SAT coaching. He drops his retirement contribution from 14% down to 5%. Just temporarily, he tells himself, to manage the cash flow. He never really gets it back up until 52. By 65, Dominic has about $620,000 saved. Yolanda also turns 40 with $110,000 saved. She earns $118,000. She stays in her current house, buys a reliable used SUV, has honest conversations with her kids about college costs, and keeps her retirement contribution at 14%, never touching it. She also negotiates a promotion at 44 that bumps her income. By 65, Yolanda has $1.58 million saved. Same decade, same general income bracket, a $960,000 difference in outcome. What to actually do right now? Okay, so here's what I want you to walk away with. Actual steps, not just theory. Step 1. Audit the lifestyle creep you've already accepted. Pull up your monthly expenses and categorize everything into two columns: assets and aesthetics. Assets grow your future. Aesthetics feel good now. Be brutally honest. Most people are shocked when they see how much of their income is going to aesthetics. Step 2. Lock your savings rate before lifestyle expands. Here's the rule I follow. Every time your income goes up, the first 50% of that raise goes to savings, automatically, before you feel it. This is called paying your future self first, and it's one of the most powerful habits in personal finance. Set it up so it happens automatically. You can't spend what you never see. Step 3. Run the true cost math before any major purchase. Before any spending decision over $10,000, calculate what that money becomes at 7% over 20 years. A $15,000 car upgrade becomes $58,000 in retirement money. A $30,000 kitchen renovation becomes $116,000. This doesn't mean you never spend. It means you spend with full awareness of the trade-off. Step 4. Treat career risk as a financial asset. Your 40s are actually your last realistic window to make big income moves. After 50, hiring discrimination in many industries becomes a real factor. If there's a role, a company, or even a side business that could meaningfully increase your income, the time to take that calculated risk is now, while you have enough runway to recover if it doesn't work out, and enough career capital to make it succeed. Step 5. Have the hard conversation about education costs. I know this one's uncomfortable, but taking on $80,000 in Parent Plus loans or draining your retirement accounts to send your child to a prestigious university is one of the most financially destructive decisions parents make in their 40s. Your child has their entire career ahead of them to build wealth. You do not. A state school with merit aid is not a lesser future. A parent who can't retire is not a better outcome. The mindset shift that changes everything. Here's the reframe I want to leave you with. Most people think of their 40s as the decade where they finally cash in on all the hard work they put in during their 20s and 30s. And I get it, that feeling makes complete sense. But the people who retire with real freedom, they saw their 40s differently. They didn't see it as a decade to spend their peak earning years. They saw it as the decade to convert their peak earning years into permanent freedom. The discomfort of staying disciplined through your 40s lasts about 10 years. The reward of that discipline lasts 30 years. The pleasure of lifestyle inflation in your 40s lasts maybe 2 or 3 years before it just becomes normal. The financial consequence of that inflation, that also lasts 30 years. Choose your 30 years. If there's one thing I want you to do after watching this video, it's this. Open a spreadsheet or grab a piece of paper and write down your current savings rate, your current age, and the 3 biggest monthly expenses that are purely lifestyle. Then ask yourself, if I redirected 30% of what I spend on lifestyle into investments, what would my retirement look like? Run that math. I promise it will be the most motivating financial exercise you've ever done. If this video hit differently than you expected, that's exactly what Smart Invest is about, showing you the math behind the moves so you can make decisions with real clarity. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of these traps do you feel most at risk of falling into? I read every comment and I genuinely want to know where you're at. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. New videos every week. I'll see you in the next one.